It's now 6. Nope, this is correct. Not that. All right, good evening, everybody. I would like to call the meeting to order and announce that the board met in closed session and no action was taken on item 1 and items 3 through 6. For item number 2, the board voted 5 in favor and 0 against, with 2 board members, Mr. Perez and Mr. Madison, absent, in favor of placing a certificated employee on compulsory leave. I would also like to announce that tonight's meeting is being video recorded and will be available on the district's YouTube channel. I would like to announce that blue cards are available at the table just outside of the boardroom for anyone who wishes to address the board. If you wish to address the board, please complete a card and hand it to the staff member at the right table to my side. Please be sure to complete the card indicating whether the matter you wish to address is on the agenda or not on the agenda. If the matter is on the agenda, we will assume you wish to speak when that item comes up, and we will hold your card until that time. First up, we do have our Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to call on Ms. Teresa Mejarado of James McKee Elementary School, and Steve Looper, principal for James McKee Elementary, and Ms. Martinez-Aleri will be reading some fabulous things about Ms. Mejarado. Thank you.
James McKee Elementary School is honored to recognize Ms. Teresa Mejarado as our education partner. Tonight, she is accompanied by her husband Daniel and her 3 children, all of whom attend James McKee, including daughter Abigail, who is a 3rd grader, son Ethan, who is a 1st grader, and son Eli, who is in the pre-K program. The Mejarados have been a part of James McKee's family for 2 years, during which time they have been very involved parents. Teresa is an active member of the school's PTO and volunteers at numerous school events. She also volunteers in all 3 of her children's classrooms and as a chaperone on various field trips. Mrs. Mejarado is also a district representative for the Pre-K State Parent Advisory Committee. The family members are active in their church in both the choir and drama programs. In addition, the children are involved in karate. Though quiet and unassuming on a daily basis, Teresa exhibits care, dedication, hard work, and support of not only her children, but for all of her students at our school. She is also one who never seeks the spotlight in things that she does, and her big heart for her children is one of the many outstanding qualities that she brings, making James McKee such a special place. If we can please stand and give her a round of applause. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you like to say anything, ma'am?
Just thank you to everybody.
Our pleasure. Thank you for all the wonderful work that you do. We're going to take a photograph here, and Ms. Martinez-Aleri has the little gift for you as well. All right, how about another round of applause for this great family? Thank you. All right, next up we have our high school representative reports. First up, Florin.
Okay, we're gonna try to put it. Good evening, President Singh Allen, members of the board, Superintendent Hoffman, and Ms. Avalos. My name is Leila Takir.
And I'm Michael Mendoza.
It is our pleasure to be here tonight representing Florin High School.
Our past quarter was a great success with the Panthers. Main focus on giving back to the community. From reading to young peers, to experience the rigor of being a teacher, to opening the door to other high schools to hold middle school events, and also just donating blood. Our Panthers have been active in doing as much as they can to do the community better.
Thank you to Ms. Hinman. Every Wednesday, Florin High mentors team up with first and second graders at Isabel Jackson to create positive relationships and community involvement. Our Panthers partook in Jackson's after-school sale program, participating in exercises, reading stories, and helping students with their homework. Our students also visited David Reese Elementary School to participate in Read Across America and read to our future Panthers.
Our AP Bio students have also been keen on teaching the younger Panthers their advanced skills. Just recently, Ms. Vong's AP Bio students became the teachers and held an after-school biology session for fellow Panthers. It was a great learning experience, not for only those who attended, but also those who were teachers.
Florin High School has hosted the middle school mathletes competitions for over 5 years now. To expand the program, this past competition, we invited Franklin High School to observe how the Panther mathletes host, organize, and score the competitions. This event was a huge success as usual, with most of the middle schools present, and was also an enjoyable experience for the enthusiastic, brilliant minds of our future high schoolers. Our mathletes also celebrated Pie Day yesterday by giving pie to our students with a friendly competition between teams of students and staff to determine the most powerful and irrational pie.
Just last week, Florin has held its annual blood drive. Every year, students donate blood willingly to help our community. The event is much more than donating blood. Students also take time out of their day to help out at the event to make sure it runs smoothly. Thank you to Ms. Sleeper, our health club advisor. We are able to bring this important event back every year.
Along with helping the community, our students have also exhibited academic excellence through scholarships and meticulous projects. Florin High students brought in $11,500 in Elk Grove Community Foundation scholarships this year. Also, our finalists and semifinalists who entered in the sports journalism contest received a VIP tour of Sacramento Bee. Our men's basketball team was also recognized for having the top GPA for the winter team sports.
Honors biology classes have also been hard at work. They conducted a DNA fingerprinting lab using equipment from the UC Davis Biotechnology in Classroom program. We also have a Florin robotic team who have had a chance to compete in robotics competition in Wheatland. For next year, we plan on having a robotics club to increase the enthusiasm for science among our students.
The physics classes have also displayed a great show of academic excellence. Just past month, they got the opportunity to test their understanding of engineering and physics when making the annual egg drop project. This event is always enjoyable, with the students anxious to know whether their eggs survived the drop. We also have a 3D printer up and running now. Students in engineering classes now have the opportunity to use this latest technology to design and build their own puzzle pieces.
Florin High School's Masterpiece Dance Company has also had their main stage performance last month. They performed at a packed crowd at Sheldon High School's Performing Arts Center. Our dancers worked hard for their routine, and the show, in turn, was fantastic. We also had a tour from our soon-to-be Panthers Rudder students. They got the opportunity to hear and see all the program that Florin High School offers, and got to engage with several teachers as well as students.
As for our academies, thanks to Mr. Fairchild, the Technical Careers Academy coordinator, many of our students had the opportunity to listen to a special presentation on how to get a state job while still in high school and college. The TCS students also went on a tour of Frontier's office, met with employees, and learned some valuable lessons regarding what it takes to get into a technical field.
Both TCA and Law Academy also got the chance to go on a college tour of Pepperdine, UCLA, UC Merced, and Fresno State. The students enjoyed the trip and now are most considering those universities in the near future. Our Agricultural Academy also went on a trip to San Francisco, visiting the Exploratorium, the Wharf, Pier 39, and ending their trip with the Federal Reserve. Their timing was perfect as they got to enjoy the spirit of the NFL Super Bowl 50.
In bringing back traditions, we now have a journalism club at Florin once again. The students recently took a field trip to Sacramento Bee, met with several reporters and employees, and socialized with other journalism programs in Sacramento County. Because of our new block schedule, we're now able to create journalism as an elective for the new year.
Our staff has also been hard at work in helping our students succeed. Our counseling department held its annual Cash for College night, assisting parents and students in filling out their FAFSA forms for college. 3 of our staff members, Ms. Digman, Mr. Hong, and Mr. Seinold, were also recognized by the district for their years of service.
One of our recent clubs, Social Justice and Equity Collective, has also been a positive force at Florin High School. Last year, they presented at Sac State regarding the issue of block schedule and pushed forward to make the change happen. Their presentation this year focused on the social issues affecting our campus and our community. Their presence at campus has shifted the minds of our students and have made them more open-minded to the social problems we face today.
We also had a visit from a Florin alumni. Dion Taylor, who played professional basketball in Europe, is now a successful Hollywood director. He talked to TCA, drama, and choir students on about how to be successful in life.
We look forward to ending this year on a positive note. Some of our upcoming events include our Junior-Senior Gala, Kaleidoscope Assembly, and Awards Night. Our open house is also fast approaching, and we hope to see you there.
And now you know
And I know
that every day is a great day to be a Panther.
Great report. Excellent. All right, next up we have Rio Cazadero High School.
Good evening, President Singh Allen, members of the school board, Superintendent Hoffman, and Ms. Avalos. My name is Kai Luhan. Shaprice Scott and I are both seniors at Rio Cazadero High School, and we are here tonight to inform you about the programs, events, and activities for the 2015-2016 school year. As many of you know, Rio Cazadero High School is a place for students to get a second chance to be successful in school. Students are given new opportunities to make new friends and be involved in the school. Most of the students who attend Rio Cazadero came to make up credits so they can graduate. Rio Cazadero High School provides an opportunity for students to get additional help and earn credit beyond the regular classes. Homework Club is a program that is offered between the morning and afternoon sessions. A room on campus was created for students to work on the homework and get help from a teacher, since some of our students don't have access to computers and internet at home. This is very helpful. Recently, the school site council decided to expand this and will be offering a breakfast club before school. All students who attend breakfast club will get breakfast as well as a chance to get help on homework. One surprisingly popular offering at Rio Cazadero High School is our Saturday school. At our school, it is not a punishment, but an option for students to make up absences, earn additional credit, and receive help with homework. Free refreshments are served. It is offered at least once each month, and our most recent Saturday school had the best attendance yet. Rio Cazadero High School offered a college and career fair during school on March 11th. We had representatives from various colleges, training programs, and different career fields. We also had a speaker from the Macro Partnership who talked about owning a business. One popular thing at the fair was the Rio Alumni Panel, where former Rio students talked about what they did to get where they are now. One of the best ways for students to learn is to have new experiences, including trips to local museums like the Crocker, where we get to see examples of the art that we studied in class. This past weekend, we took a field trip to Alcatraz and learned about the history of the island and the prison. We also took a field trip last fall to the San Francisco Shakespeare Festival to see Romeo and Juliet at McLaren Park. It was a great and memorable experience. I am also on the school site council, where parents and students come together with the school staff to discuss things that would benefit the school and the community and vote on how we spend our budget. One thing we recently all agreed on was to add more Chromebook carts for the classrooms. This year, we decided to change our mascot. The Rio Cazadero High School mascot has been the Rebels, referring to the rebelliousness of youth. However, since the mascot can also be associated with racism, we decided it was time to select something else. We involved students, parents, and the staff in the decision of recommended that we become the Rio Cazadero High School Raptors. The staff at Rio Cazadero High School is a very excellent staff indeed. They all are so very helpful, from the ladies in the office to the teachers and other staff on campus. The Rio staff love to help students be successful. Now, Shaprice will tell you some more about what has been happening at Rio Cazadero High School this year.
So just before you talk, if I can get you to actually speak into the microphone, because you're competing with sound, just so that everyone can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Shaprice Scott. When I first came to Rio Cazadero High School, I didn't think I would graduate on time. But with the help of the teachers and staff, I will be walking across that stage this spring. Student leadership includes representatives from every advisory class at Rio Cazadero, and it meets every Monday. We are currently planning several events, including the prom. Rio Cazadero High School sponsors a prom that is open to students from all other alternative schools in the Elk Grove Unified School District. This year, the prom will be held on April 15th, and the theme is A Night at the Masquerade Ball. This year, we will have the students coming to the prom to sign a big poster, a part of the KC's pledge. When they sign it, they are promising that they won't get into a car with someone who has been drinking, because we want all of our students to be safe. This past fall, student leadership held a Spirit Week with challenges between classes to decorate doors, and we had theme days where students dressed up to match the theme. The staff at Rio Cazadero High School encourages their students to achieve their dreams and goals. They sometimes provide a pizza party for students who participate regularly in homework club, and they use opportunities like award ceremonies and weekly compliments lists to recognize and motivate students who are doing well. Rio Cazadero High School wants to encourage all of its students to be able to prepare for careers after high school and to have access to colleges and other training programs. The counselor is offering several opportunities for students to learn about their scholarships and financial aid. We had a scholarship workshop that focused on the opportunities provided by the Elk Grove Foundation scholarships, and we had financial aid workshops scheduled. The counselors also meet individually with students and parents to guide them through the process. Rio Cazadero offers career technical education classes for students to take to prepare them for a future career. 2 classes in the medical field are offered on our campus, and a computer graphics class offered next door at Las Flores High School is also a popular choice for Rio students. I am currently in the phlebotomy program, and it is a great preparation since I want to be in the medical field. This year, Rio Cazadero High School began a new program after school, Camp Beats Lab. It's offered by the Performing Arts United and teaches students about the music industry for students who are interested in music production. There are so many opportunities at Rio. Thank you for letting us share them with you today.
All right, excellent report. Thank you. Excellent. At this time, we'd like to recognize our fabulous principals from the high schools. We have Don Ross, principal of Florin High School. And of course, Doug Wendell, principal of Rio Cazadero High School. All right, thank you, students. You may be dismissed. Thank you.
Madam
Unless you really want to
President?
stay.
Madam President,
But I'm sure you have homework.
Madam President, If I could make a brief statement just
Yes,
before the
please.
kids leave the room, otherwise I'd save it, but I didn't want to get lost in those fabulous reports that the Rio Cazadero community went through a very open democratic process to choose their new mascot, and I just would like us all to recognize the maturity of the students to take responsibility for even unintended messages they might send, so I'm really proud of you guys. I think we all are, and congratulations on your new mascot.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. All right, next up we have our academic decathlon student and teacher recognition. I'd like to call on Ms. Charlotte Finizzi and assisting Ms. Chaitis Espinosa and Ms. Albiani.
Good evening, President Bobby Singh Allen, members of the school board, Superintendent Christopher Hoffman, and Ms. Avalos. The Board of Education is asked to recognize students and coaches who earned recognition at the 36th Annual Sacramento County Academic Decathlon Competition. The 36th Annual Sacramento County Academic Decathlon Competition was held on February the 6th, 2016 at Endercombe High School. A total of 24 teams from area high schools competed in this all-day event. This year's theme was India. The academic decathlon competition structure requires students, decathletes, to participate as a 9-member school team against other schools. Each team consists of 3 honor-level decathletes, GPA of 3.75 to 4.0, 3 scholastic decathletes with a grade point average of 3.0 to 3.74, and 3 varsity decathletes with grade point averages up to 2.99. Students take a 30-minute multiple choice test in the subjects of economics, language and literature, music, science, art, mathematics, and social science. In addition, each team member presents a planned 4-minute speech, makes a 2-minute impromptu speech, participates in a 7-minute interview, and produces a timed essay. These decathletes, coached by local high school teachers, not only grow in academic achievement, but also learn about teamwork, goal setting, planning, and leadership. This year, 2 Elk Grove Unified School District's high schools placed in the top 10 among competing schools. They are Pleasant Grove High School, 3rd place overall, and Sheldon High School, 6th place overall. As a result of their 3rd place finish, the Pleasant Grove High School team has earned the right to compete in the state academic decathlon. The competition will be held March 17th to 21st in Sacramento. District teams also competing in the event this year were teams from Elk Grove, Franklin, Laguna Creek, and Monterey Trail High Schools. The board is asked to recognize members and coaches of the top 10 teams and to commend students from district teams who received medals and/or team leadership awards. So I'd like to begin with the Franklin High School team. Well, it's not their team, they're members that received a medal or a team leadership award. So representing Franklin High School is their coach, Matt Felkins, and student, Cynthia Teese. No certificates, they'll get them later. Representing Laguna Creek High School is their coach, Justin Sosa, and students, Hangzi Leo and John Long. Representing Monterey Trail High School is coach Kevin Williams and student Karina Nelson. Students from Elk Grove High School are Garrett Sino and Ellie Trong. Their coaches are Ann Webster and Elizabeth Loveridge, and representing the school tonight is Randy Stark, Vice Principal. Representing Sheldon High School tonight is their coach, Megan Newton, Vice Principal Randy Mola, and students, Thomas Abbott and Rebecca Williams.
Parents, if you would like to come up and take photographs. Feel free to come closer if you like. It's all a big family here. We can give a round of applause to these wonderful students and teachers.
Representing Pleasant Grove High School are their coaches, Jerry Bandy, Belinda Hatfield, Shelley Walker, Russ Young. And our wonderful students tonight are Micah De Leon, Sunaya Gita, Victoria Fursoff, Leila Hernandez, Jonathan Ma, Jasminder Mali, Stephanie McLean, Tanya Nguyen, Karen Nguyen, Nicole Nguyen, Simrit Sandhu, Jasleen Sohal, Donnie Wang, Jason Wu, Christina Yamada, and Eric Yin.
Parents, feel free to come close and get those memorable photos. You can get as close as you like.
Congratulations to the 2016 Academic Decathlon winners.
All right. You lady, if you, my colleagues want to stay there for the next recognition, feel free, since you're already down there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next up, we have our California Poetry Out Loud competition. Ms. Venizzi.
Yes, the board is asked to recognize the 2016 California Poetry Out Loud winner from Pleasant Grove High School for placing first in state competition. A junior from Pleasant Grove High School won the California Poetry Out Loud competition on Monday, February 29th at the state capitol, earning him a trip to Washington, D.C. to represent California in the Nationals finals in May. This is the first time in 11 years of the state competition that a student from Sacramento County has won. The student recited 3 poems: Filling Station by Elizabeth Bishop, Let the Light Enter by Francis Allen Watkins Harper, and The Bad Old Days by Kenneth Rexroth. He will receive $200 from the National Endowment for the Arts, and Pleasant Grove will receive $500 in books. The board is asked to recognize and commend the California Poetry Out Loud winner and his teacher, Russell Young. The Poetry Out Loud state competition winner is Chigoze Matashuka. Congratulations, Jagosa, and to Russ Young.
Okay, next up we have student expulsion recommendations. The first one is a request for return from student expulsion. I would like to call for a motion to approve the request for return from student expulsion.
Move approval.
We have a motion from Mr. Forcina.
Second.
Second, Ms. Albiani. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The second one we have is a request for student expulsions. I would like to ask if anyone wishes to address the board in closed session regarding a student expulsion recommendation. Seeing none, I would like to call for a motion to approve the request for student expulsions.
I move the request.
Motion to approve, Mr. Forcina. Second, Ms. Albiani. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, very good. Public comment, I do not have a blue card for anything not on the agenda, so we will move on to our LCAP update. Mr. Cerruti.
Good evening, President Singh Allen, members of the board, Superintendent Hoffman, and Ms. Avalos. Always appreciate the opportunity to come up and provide an update, and thank you, Sanja, regarding the LCAP. And really this evening, it's just a brief calendaring over the next couple of months, and certainly not every meeting that's taking place, because there continues to be meetings, but really a focus on, thank you, ma'am, a focus on the development of the LCAP and ultimately the approval, the board approval of the LCAP. Just a quick rehash of the fall so we can kind of provide a context for everything. The fall is really when there's a lot of data analysis and review. Data analysis really is something that goes on year-round, but that's really when we gather a great deal of information from the prior year, and that sets us up for a needs analysis, which we do the first semester. And within the context of the decision-making model, that's really when we do a thorough data analysis of input, output, and outcome data, do a gap and cause analyses, and we start to develop theories of action in terms of, given the data, if we do this, then we believe that this will occur, and this will occur is really looked at as corrective actions that we take, and those corrective actions can also be looked at in terms of the programs and services and budget recommendations that we brought to the board. And so if we look at January and February and March, that just highlights the board meetings that took place down to March, the recent board meeting at March 10th, where the board took action and approved recommendations that came from the superintendent, the superintendent's cabinet, and staff for next year. And in terms of what's taking place where it indicates May and June, I would say that immediately after June 10th, in fact, the meeting went, because our superintendent and the board is apparently so efficient, the meeting went much shorter than it was scheduled, which gave me a couple of hours to immediately pull the writers together and begin literally writing the LCAP, and we had started doing that. And so that's really the other thing that's taking place. I've already had conversations with the deputy superintendent of the Sacramento County Office of Education, Sue Stickle, a good friend, good partner to our district. And I'm hoping to have section 1 sent off for review. We do it in sections and send it off for preliminary review. And SCOE's been a great partner in doing that. And so I do want to up front acknowledge the support from all of my colleagues, associate superintendent colleagues, because we will be inquiring with them as to certain aspects of that to make sure the wording is correct as it relates to areas that fall into their divisions. And then my close colleagues and partners in terms of writing the LCAP, which is Ms. Stenroos, Ms. Hikito, and Ms. Lowry, will be busy working and developing the LCAP. In May, May 19th, that's an important meeting. We continue to have meetings with our constituencies and our stakeholder groups. That's the legally mandated meeting where we bring our district advisory committee and DLAC together in this room and we review the LCAP. So the LCAP actually, when we have in cabinet very recently, backed through from that June 28th date in terms of when we actually need a draft completed, because we're also looking at it in terms of having translations available for these meetings and things of that nature that we take into account. So that May 19th date is a very important one. That's where we get questions, and those are the questions we legally respond to in writing. May 23rd through June 3rd is when we will publish the LCAP and place it on our website so people can comment throughout that time period. And then on June 14th is when we have the public hearing, and on June 28th is when we have the adoption. And that correlates also with our budget. So that's what it looks like over the coming months. So we anticipate June 28th is when we would be sending both our budget and our LCAP to the Sacramento County Office of Education. Okay. And with that, I'll answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Cerruti. Any questions or comments from colleagues? No? Yes, Mr. Fortuna.
Yeah, I just have one comment, Mark, and I just want to make it for the record. With respect to our LCAP document, to me, I couldn't be prouder of you and your staff and the people in the community. Our document is bathed in accountability. It has seen the rigorous thought process to arrive at decisions. It uses data in a very important way in terms of looking at what we've done and how we've done it and why we've done it and what we should do. And maybe most importantly for me, our document is one of inclusion. And we've talked in the past about inclusion. There could be nothing more important than involving people in the development of LCAP that are going to be impacted by the document. And I could just give you and your staff a huge thank you, and I know all on the board feel the same way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And the inclusive portion of that, and actually you and I were speaking before this meeting, because a meeting that I didn't put up here because we didn't list them all, but there's an LCAP consultation committee that'll take place within about a month. It'll take place in April, and that's the group that has a broad range of constituents involved with that, including board members that are part of that. And the sole focus there is looking at a process. It's not looking at the LCAP itself. It's looking at the process and how inclusive is it in terms of looking at the product itself. And the one thing I would say is we will continue to tweak it. The template is the template. It did not change from last year to this year. But there are some things that we did structurally that I believe make it a more user-friendly document again this coming year. So we should see some improvements in the actual document itself as well. Thank you.
And I really appreciate the user-friendly aspect of it. We had a California School Board Association legislative action day today, and a number of colleagues throughout the state discussed of really how challenging their documents, a lot of their LCAP plans are, and how to make that sort of more comprehensible to just anybody. And I think that we've done a great job at and successful in communicating what we're looking for. So I want to thank you on that, really going down to that comprehension part. You know, it could be, there's so many different ways to approach it, and accountability and equity and transparency, engagement. I mean, we hit all of those points, so thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, we do not have a budget or facilities update, so we are on bargaining units. Any bargaining unit wish to address the board? No? Okay, very good. We will move on to our reports. Our first report this evening is Indian Education Program update. Ms. Sanja Lowry.
Good evening, President Singh Allen, members of the board, Superintendent Hoffman, and Ms. Avalos. Thank you so much. The Indian Education Program, on behalf of the Indian Education Program, we'd like to thank you for providing us with this opportunity just to present information about our program and services that has been developed and with the support of, you know, all involved for our Native American and Alaska Native students and their families here in Elk Grove. And our day-to-day program operations essentially are facilitated by a team of 3. It's our program educator, Mr. Nelson Chasky, our program specialist, Ms. Alicia Canning, and myself. So we're a program of 3 people, but we are mighty. I would say, though, that the support from Mr. Cerruti and Mr. Hoffman has been unwavering. But really what I'd like to highlight tonight is the commitment from the board, you know, in support of our program. The additional funding that's been set forth as a priority by you would undoubtedly make tremendous, you know, just provide tremendous benefit to our students and our families that we serve. So on behalf of them, I'd just like to say thank you very much. The Indian Education Program has strong connections to the Native American community in the Sacramento region and beyond. Our program is essentially recognized widely as a leader in innovative programming for Native American youth and their families. A lot of programs and communities that serve Native American people look to our program for you know, what kinds of activities we do with our students, what kind of interventions we have in place, and just some of the innovative things that we've done over the last few years, I would say. The program provides important educational services to our American Indian and Alaska Native children and their families, and the sole purpose is to ensure their students' academic success. These services include one-on-one tutoring, group tutoring assistance. A real strong highlight in our program is Native American cultural classes that occur during the regular day, after school, summer, and then there's a huge outreach component to our families and parents of students, particularly those that have not met grade level requirements or those that we would consider to be at risk. That's a huge part of our program. And I would say that over the last 5 years, program services have expanded to include field trips to universities, museums, student conferences, and we have developed numerous or various partnerships with our local Native American organizations. It is absolutely one of Nelson's strengths and the reason why we have some of those strong partnerships. Additionally, I would say that parent participation has grown significantly. Nelson's going to talk a little bit about that later on. I would say over the last 2 years into what we would describe as an active, engaged community of people dedicated to supporting the success of our kids. I would also like to highlight that you know, students have been able to participate in things like learning to perform traditional music, in building drums, creating native art through modern artistic mediums, such as we had a stint with screen printing. and spray paint art, mural painting. Our students have had the opportunity to attend a 3-day science camp. And they've worked with independent filmmaker and a videographer to produce a public service announcement. And so we think that's pretty phenomenal for our kids, and so do the people in the Native American community. As we continue to expand in this year, we have a consistent cultural night every week, and it has happened this school year, in addition to our weekly tutoring services. We also provide extended learning and summer programming for our students. All of these activities include an opportunity for our kids and our families to participate in the program. There's a lot of opportunities for parents to be volunteers. I think it's a requirement of Nelson's program, as a matter of fact. And we've just had a tremendous growth rate in participation with our families. And then the last thing I will share with you is that our program in Elk Grove has been redesigned to include unrecognized or disenrolled and self-identified students and families, which were being previously unserved in our district. Since each tribe is a unique nation, because that's how it works, rules for enrollment vary widely. And the students were classified as ineligible under our Title VII grant. So if families that are self-identified can't receive Title VII funding, but we've built in support for them through our local control funding formula and also through community partnerships. It's one of the reasons why Nelson works so hard in that area. So we welcome these students and families into our program and have found collaborative ways to service them. I will say that, Nelson, can you hand me the little clicker? I will say that the goal of our program is the same for all of our students in Elk Grove operating under our E4 learning vision, and that is really just to prepare our students to be college and career-ready graduates. Finally, as we consider our strategic goals and the focus of our Indianet program, the kinds of opportunities that I just described and laid out for you, and the experiences and interventions that we provide for our students are truly aimed at closing the achievement gap in this student population, and really just ensuring the cultural responsiveness and commitment to those families, and just involving our families and community partners. So with that, I'm gonna pass it over to Nelson.
All right. Well, Sandra said almost everything that I was going to present. So, yeah. But, yeah. Before I start, I want to get my wife to come up here and my daughter and one of our community members to come and stand with me, just to show that everything that we do is not strictly by me. My wife has a lot to do with it in terms of providing me with that support. My daughter comes and she volunteers 3 days a week, 6 hours a week, basically, all year long. So whenever I do presentations or I do anything of this sort, I like to recognize where the actual strength comes from. It's not really from me. I'm just more of a spokesperson. I shuffle papers. I try and come up with novel ideas in terms of how to do the actual translation of Native culture into the Western system of education, and backwards. Do it the other way. Do it backwards to help our parents and our students. So with that being said, traditionally when we start, we have to explain who we are. Right? My name is Nelson Chasky. I'm Anishinaabe. I'm Dakota from Canada. I've been working within the school systems for about 20 years. Started off working with at-risk youth, doing a lot of work on the streets, and as much as I try to move away from this area in terms of working in other sectors, I always am drawn back to working with the youth. That's always been a strength for me to work with them. So having this opportunity to present to you is great. So our first slide that you see up there is represents all the colors of our children, our Native children. is no set definition of how we look. I do know that people have ideas about how we look as Native people, but you know, there's so many different shapes, sizes, and everything, names. You know, there's 561 different nations in the U.S. alone, and about 300 more in Canada, and I don't even know how many more in South America. So that's, you know, we wanted to show with this picture the differences, you know, with our children. So in order to be part of our program, which is funded by a federal grant, they have to fill out a 506 form. On that 506 form, there's a lot of definitions of Native people. We try to follow it as much as possible, but we noticed that we were lacking in some areas in terms of serving students that didn't fall into that definition. But we're still Native and still needed, you know, that support. So we partnered with different organizations that actually didn't have that requirement. So we could actually serve self-identifying students. And, you know, hopefully eventually in time that we could serve everyone in terms of not basing it on race anymore, just having a Native American program, and you can come in and do, you know, and be part of our program and take part and learn from our culture, you know, the great things that we have to offer as Native people. So the more students we have, the more money we get for our program, of course. There's some of our families, you know, out on a field trip, getting out there, learning outside, doing some team building, you know, really trying to create that focus on family. Of course, we went over the tutoring aspect. They can get tutoring one-on-one at school site, or they can come on Wednesday nights when we do tutoring night, and that's open to everyone. And on tutoring night, we actually have students from UC Davis that come in and offer free tutoring for our students, and that way we can offer it to everyone. So, you know, there's no charge to our program. There's no, you know, no one's losing out on anything. They're actually benefiting from being part of our program. And within our program, something that's not on the slide, we have participants that are 2 months old, and I think our oldest one was 85, I think, that took part in our program on a regular basis. So, you know, we don't discriminate on age either. So there's some of our UC Davis students tutoring our children, helping them with that Common Core math. Okay, so we have 261 students currently enrolled. I did a mass mailing, so that number is building every day now. Once I did the mass mailing to reestablish in our program to everyone that self-identifies, because from year to year, your position changes. So one year you could be not recognized, next year you can be recognized. Next year you can, you know, you can have a number, you can't have a number. It always changes constantly. So, you know, I wanted to do that mass mailing so I could get everybody, you know, services that they actually are entitled to. So with that, we provide 4,000 hours of direct services a year to our students, 400 hours of school site services directly to the student one-on-one. We offer spring, summer, winter, and fall programming. Now, spring and fall gatherings are a little bit different. Fall gathering is more to meet each other. Spring gathering is for our graduation and to honor people and to, you know, have that respect for, you know, all the people that help us, like Sanja, you know, doing that work for us. You know, we honor them then, and all our graduates. Based on the data since I came here 16 months ago, we have increased 1,100% in participation rates with both students and parents. So, you know, that should show something that there's a level of change there, and there's a level of input and interest in our program. That when you focus it more on their needs rather than, you know, just leaving at 5 o'clock, you know, when a lot of parents are just getting off work. You we want to work on their schedules rather than my own. So I'm in the unique position where I can do that with the help of my family and my community. They actually help me do that. So that shows, their input into our program. Cultural restoration and preservation. We have a number of elders within our community that come in and do not only, I don't want to say generic native culture, but we do a lot of California culture because we have a lot of Miwok families in this area. So we're going to be providing that. Language, dance, songs, stuff like that. There we are singing, trying to learn how to be family, trying to learn that that togetherness that a drum will bring to people, and singing together will bring. Storytelling is a big thing, being that oral, trying to have our children learn how to tell stories, how to pick up those gifts of our native history. Music education, of course, always important. Music has always been shown to increase graduation rates, increase everything, across board. It just looks differently when we do it. It's not a trombone, it's a big drum, it's a hand drum, it's a clapper, those kind of things. Current issues. I'll need someone to click on this one. So this is our video. And hopefully it plays, because it played earlier. Oh, we're moving to a different slide. Okay. So we'll just ask for 3 minutes of your time to watch a video that the kids made concerning mascots. And the great thing about being in Elk Grove is we don't have that problem.
Stand tall. We stand proud. Ask later. With no shame. Lakota, Dene, Wailaki, Como, Miwok, Comanche, Manu, Washoe, Apache. We are one, we are strong, we are happy. Lakota, Dene, Wailaki, Como, Miwok, Comanche, Manu, Washoe, Apache. We are one, we are strong, we are happy. Not your mascot tomorrow or today.
We should have to meet you halfway.
If we call you any bad name, you wouldn't think that it's okay.
We will not forget our history. Our ancestors are with us spiritually. We are people of dignity. At the end, we will get the victory.
Lakota, Dene, Wailaki, Como, Miwok, Comanche, Manu, Washoe, Apache. We are one, we are strong, we are happy. Lakota, Dene, Wailaki, Como, Miwok, Comanche, Manu, Washoe, Apache. We are one, we are strong, we are happy. Lakota, Dene, Wailaki, Como, Miwok, Comanche, Manu, Washoe, Apache. We are one, we are strong, we are happy. Lakota, Dene, Wailaki, Como, Miwok, Comanche, Manu, Washoe, Apache. We are one, we are strong, we are happy.
We are the protectors of the land and water. We are human beings. We are not your mascot.
right, so that was something that was done by the kids. We were talking about it. It came up in a number of discussions that we had. So we wanted to provide them with the education of what happens when we're portrayed in a mascot sense in a dehumanizing way. We did it age appropriate, of course. So, you know, all the words, everything, the music and all that came from the kids themselves. And they wanted to support the other Native communities and non-Native people that were fighting against this issue. And, you know, they were very happy to know that, you know, that wasn't an issue that we had in Elk Grove. Which is a part of the reason I really love working for Elk Grove, is that they address issues before they're issues. So there's our families. Some of the field trips we take are, of course, of science camps, and I was looking at the data for our young women in terms of being in science and math, and I really wanted to have that on there. We visit colleges, go to youth conferences, and the good thing about the youth conferences and the college that we go to is that Elk Grove is the only program that's asked to do cultural performances at all these conferences. They requested it out of all the other programs. So they actually will contact us, ask us if we could do something like blessings or singing or all these different things for them. We go to community events, outdoor learning, which is really important to me. It really makes their learning come alive and has that bond with not only nature but with each other. When you're outdoors, it's a different setting. It's not so structured where you're sitting still and it's very static. You know, it's really out there and it's more motivating. So that's why we try to provide them with a lot of these kind of education opportunities. Foundational teachings. What I do with the kids is I teach them foundation stuff that they can build on. So this happens first in the first couple of months that we meet, learn the 7 sacred teachings, love, respect, all those kind of good things, learn how to connect with each other, and then our clan system, how we're responsible for each other in terms of taking care of each other, feeding each other, stuff like that. One of our main partners is SNAC, Sacramento Native American Health Center. So they do a lot of our nutritional health, emotional, and just health education in general. Of course, I go out to school sites and do a lot of presentations, and this is probably the best part of my job that I enjoy, sitting down with a group of grade 3s and grade 4s and just listening to their questions that they ask me. And you know, you really got to know your cultural game when you go in front of these kids, because they ask you really deep questions about your culture. So you really have to know what you're doing. That's why it's my favorite part. So we have partnerships that make this all happen. Of course, the health center, built in Rancheria, just down the street, is our big supporter. Shingle Springs TANF, UC Davis, and Sacramento State. Here's a picture of our graduates from last year, graduated in this very room. And then we do like a whole community graduation where we all get together and we celebrate the achievements of our seniors. And also, you know, our program was asked to do the singing there also, you know, at this one. So with that, if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to
So
answer.
before I open it up, thank you so much for that amazing presentation. I do have one speaker, so Clinton Chrisman? Yes. No, well, you know, we may want to address some of the things that you may bring up or something, so since you're up there with your family, please.
It's going to be hard to compete with Nelson in his presentation there.
So if you can just state your name for the record, thank you.
My name is Clinton Chrisman. I'm a parent. I have 2 children in the school district. I have 4 kids unofficially in the Indian Ed program. They were removed 2 years ago because of disenrollment. But Mr. Chasky and the district has allowed my kids to continue to participate in the programs, and we appreciate that. I come here tonight as a parent and as the community representative for the Indian Ed program. I've had the privilege and the blessing of being associated with them for 10 years, and probably the biggest blessing I've had was to meet and work with Miss Donna Cherry over here. She's like a family member to my kids. This is kind of emotional for me. The purpose I came here tonight is not to solicit funds or handouts from the district, but to ask that the district continue to be our advocates and to continue to invest in our children, our community, and our programs. We have I think, an outstanding outreach program where we go to different schools and we go out there and we do presentations, we drum for them, we sing for them, and we go out there and we try to educate the public on the misconceptions and, the things that people don't understand about our people. Our program is open to anybody who wants to come to our program. It says Native American program, but it is for Native and non-Native people. Our arms are always open for them to come in and join us at any time. I think the most important thing I wanted to bring with you guys is we appreciate the support that we get from the district, and we want to continue to grow as we have. When I first came here 10 years ago, this is my 10th year being involved with the program, we started out with 4 parents showing up, not even enough to have a quorum. We had to change our actual bylaws to cut down the number of parents because we couldn't get enough people to show up for it. Now, on any given night, we have 20, 30 parents there. When we do our spring and fall gatherings, we're in excess of 100 people out here. We fill up this boardroom with all kinds of people from the community, Native and non-Native, and many of the employees right here from the school district come and visit with us. So I ask for the continued support of the board and the school district to allow our program to continue to grow. And I thank you, and I wish peace and blessings on all of you and your families.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Peace to you, too. Questions and comments from my colleagues? We'll start with Ms. Martinez-Aleri.
I just have to say, I commend the work that's been done for the program. Growing up in the Indian education program myself and being a part of the program from this district at an early young age, I again saw how important culture was and traditions, and I am so happy that the district continues with this type of program to support our Native youth. When we look at statistics and the college statistics and those underrepresented minority groups and underserved populations, a lot of our times our Native youth are the 1% at many colleges, and let alone the completion rates are of high concern. This program, I have to say, invites the elders, the community members, and really honors them. When I attend the fall gathering and the spring gatherings, I'm really amazed to see the number of families that are here and the spirit that they bring with the program, their willingness and wanting to participate, and they see how important education is for their children and their youth, and they want to help them succeed. And so I've seen the program over years expand, and so I have to thank you, Nelson, for that, and the other community members and staff that have worked alongside of each other in collaboration, because that's really key to see a successful program. And again, when I've looked at the other videos you've created with the student, it's so nice to see their smiling faces. From my own history, my family working within the district previously in Indian education and being a part of this community, I have to tell you that this program has been a benefit to many, many people and many, many students. And really, I'm so glad to see you here tonight presenting before the board. And just know, I know alongside of my colleagues, we again are taking into consideration of all students and want to see the betterment for all students achieve academically, and this is one of our areas that we also support. So thank you again for your presentation.
Thank you. Mr. Fortuna?
Thank you. Since becoming a member of the board, I have been very, very active in and participating in programs throughout the district. And Nelson, you know that none have been closer to my heart than our American Indian Education Program. This is a program that has not focused on the atrocities that have been brought to bear on so many hundreds of thousands of people. Instead, they have chosen the path of looking at how to make the lives better for children. And the parents have been such incredible partners in that journey. Attending the meetings that are held is so uplifting when you see the smiles on the children and their parents as their progress is celebrated. Last year was the first year that this Board of Education, with its new members and new leadership, saw fit to enhance the American Indian Education grant with programs from the general fund. And this year, once again, the board in its wisdom saw the value that is provided to our children and provided to their parents and supported the program again. The work that's being done in our American Indian Education program is beneficial today, but it's going to be beneficial tomorrow. It's going to be there for all of the future generations. And I'm just proud of all of you. I'm proud to see the smiles is on the face of the children. Last night with B Street Theater, having the children enact skits and impromptu acts to foster self-confidence and pride was very special and very precious. Thank you for all that you do. Nelson, the whole community I know that you represent, and you know, Clinton, the parents, and you know you've been a part of the program for so long. The parents give their whole heart and soul to everything that they do for the children in the program. So I say thank you. I applaud you. I'm proud of you. I can't say more nice things. Thank you.
Ms. Albiani?
I have a hard time following his words other than to agree. It's something we're very proud of. You've asked for our support, and you have our support. So please, I think we're blessed to have you in this position. Thank you.
I don't have anything new to add other than I'm just so incredibly proud of the work that you're doing, Mr. Chasky, and the district, our commitment to Indian education. You know, not only is this an underserved population, but it's an important community that often gets overlooked. And, you know, when I first came to the United States from India, my parents didn't sugarcoat history. I understood it firsthand. So I want to thank you as an immigrant for welcoming me into your lands, and all of us, other than perhaps Dr. Martinez-Aleri, with open arms. And I would love to see this grow over the years. There's a solid commitment from my colleagues on the importance, because we still have a lot of work to do with our achievement gap. But you have our commitment that we want to see the success, again, not only of all of our children, but really also want to delve deep into making sure that the students within the Indian education get their fair share as well. So thank you, everyone, for all of your hard work and dedication. And thank you so much for this presentation. If I can get a copy of that link, I think that is so powerful. What a wonderful message to share with adults who don't understand. There is still that lack of understanding of why is this a big deal? It's a huge deal. And I think that it is so wonderfully communicated through song from children. So if I can get a copy of that link, I would love to share that widely, at least with our colleagues throughout the state. I'm sure that many have seen it, but I think the more the merrier. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I was emotional. All right, next up, great transition, Avid. Ms. Tina Penna.
Thank you, President Singh Allen, members of the board, Superintendent Hoffman, and Ms. Avalos. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing presentation duties with Mr. Ralph Robles, our district head counselor. And we are very pleased tonight to bring you a report on the highly successful AVID program here in the Elk Grove Unified School District. As you can see, AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. Ralph and I are going to give you some information regarding an overview of AVID and some data to show its success. But I think that what you truly will enjoy tonight will be presentations from two of our AVID coordinators who are here tonight with some of their students, and so they're here to tell you the impact that AVID has made on their lives. So Ralph and I will hurry through ours so you can really hear the wonderful stories that you will hear from our students and our staff tonight. AVID's mission is to close the achievement gap by preparing all students for college readiness and success in a global society. What is AVID? Well, it's a global nonprofit organization with over 800,000 students in 44 states and 16 countries. It is a school-wide readiness system. It's a structured approach to rigorous curriculum. It provides direct support for first-generation college students and also for those students who may be underrepresented in our colleges and universities. And it also provides professional development for educators. We actually have had AVID for 26 years in our district, since 1990, when it was first implemented at Valley High School. And actually, Sarah Shelburne-Swan, who is one of our AVID coordinators, who is here this evening, was responsible for that first AVID program in 1990 at Valley High School, and so she has been with the program for 26 years. Between 2001 and 2016, our district's AVID enrollment grew from 400 students to over 3,000 students, and we see increases annually. And currently, we offer AVID at all of our middle school and all of our comprehensive high schools in the district. So we have 18 strong, vibrant programs supporting students in college and career readiness.
So all students in Elk Grove Unified School District are taught to read and write critically by their teachers. AVID students get an additional push by their AVID teachers and specifically to reinforce reading and writing. And while working with their study groups and in their tutoring groups, AVID students really learn to deepen their content knowledge, and they use specific strategies for reading, writing, thinking, and speaking. As the transition goes from 7th grade to 8th grade and all the way through high school, what happens is that the study groups and the actual elective course that's taught in AVID helps to strengthen the study habits and making them positive study habits and skills and behaviors, so that students, when they go into the latter years of their high school curriculum, not only do they have these study skills available to them and reinforced, but they also are encouraged and kind of pushed and prodded to actually take the honors and AP courses, which most of them do, and the data will show it in a little while. But not only that, by taking such a rigorous course curriculum, what we see is that our persistent rate at the college is actually very good. And so getting into college is one thing, but actually persisting and staying in college is another thing. Each high school, each program must go through an annual self-study, and the self-study basically is to certify each program. And every high school and every AVID program must meet 11 essentials in order to go through their certification process. So in the fall, there's the initial self-study. And in the initial self-study, there's a report that's done, and anything that needs to be strengthened is ongoing throughout the year. In the spring, what happens is there's another self-study, and it's actually a certification process that through observation and report writing and data, all of that is submitted to the National AVID program, and then all of our schools are certified through that process.
So our AVID support structure here in the district for the 2015-2016 school year actually focuses on 59 AVID 712 teachers, and that's approximately 23 FTE. So there are 59 teachers who teach one or more AVID classes in the district. We have one AVID coordinator per site, so 18 AVID coordinators. We also invest in professional development. There is a huge conference that is held each summer down at the convention center, and we, the district, pays for 2 AVID staff per site to attend, and each site may send additional staff, and very often do. In addition, Ralph coordinates the AVID program at the district level along with Lindsay Paoli, who is the county coordinator, and we provide substitutes for 5 professional development days. Much of the professional development held at the county office, and so that amounts to 2 teachers per site times 5 days. So we are investing heavily in the AVID program. I also want to thank the board for their budget action last year, which will last week, and last year actually, so I was right, which actually will further expand our AVID programs at our site. So we're adding FTE so that we can serve more students by adding more AVID sections. So thank you for that. So I think that you heard from what Mr. Robles said that without question, AVID is a highly successful program. So students enrolled in AVID take more AP classes, or IB in the case of Laguna Creek. They take more SATs and ACTs. They're more likely to complete their eligibility requirements for college, and they're more likely to enroll in 4-year colleges than are non-AVID students. And those students who participate for at least 3 years in the program are accepted to college, with roughly 3/4 of those getting into 4-year universities. Despite demographic challenges, when we look at national data, our own district AVID students enroll in 4-year institutions at a higher rate than do their national counterparts. And more, I think probably most importantly, is we know that AVID helps students get into college, but we also find out that AVID students tend to persist at higher rates because they possess higher level skills needed for college success. So I think that this will say sort of the same thing, but we'll let Mr. Robles go through a couple of data charts.
Yeah, as we looked at the data on the screen for Elk Grove Unified School District AVID students, we compared it to the national statistics and data for AVID National, and we were so far advanced that we had to come and look at and be more competitive in our look, and we actually got a hold of some of the California data. And just to give you an idea that when we compare to California, what I'll do is I'll give you the California data, but seniors graduating from our AVID program at 100% versus 99% statewide. Seniors applying to 4-year colleges are 93% versus 89% statewide. Seniors that were accepted to 4-year college from our district, 89% versus 80% statewide. Also, seniors planning to attend 4-year colleges, this is more of the survey data. So 79% of our students said that they were planning to attend a 4-year school versus 64% statewide. And then where the state, basically with the community college, they have 30% of the students statewide applying to and going to community college versus our 24%. In 2014-15, we got some California data to compare again. Taking at least one AP or IB course, Elk Grove 81% versus 68% statewide. Seniors completing college entrance exam, entrance requirements, which is the A through G, 94% for us and 92% statewide. Seniors enrolled in the AVID elective for at least 3 years. 93% of our students have been with us for at least 3 years versus 82% statewide. And then finally, the AVID students for Elk Grove taking SAT or ACT is at 97.9% versus statewide 59%.
Thank you. At this time, I am going to call up our representatives from our schools, and I'll start by asking Tracy Williams Anderson, who is our AVID coordinator from Florin High School, to come forward and say a few words and also introduce her students. And then after they finish, Valley High School, under the direction of Ms. Swan, will come forward.
Good evening. My name is Tracy Williams Anderson. I've been with the district for about 11 years, and I've been the AVID coordinator for about 8. I have walked this college journey with hundreds of students during that time period. I am blessed to have this position as the AVID coordinator. Being that I loop with my students, I'm with them from 9th grade to 12th grade, so I have a chance to witness their growth, both intellectually and their social growth. One more thing I want to say is that our program has grown quite a bit from the time I started. When I started teaching AVID, we had about 55 students in the whole program. Last year we have 196, and right now we have 225 8th graders from Rudder who has expressed interest in AVID. So we'll be growing even more next year. I brought 3 students with me because I can talk a long time, but it's more important for them to tell you about their experiences. And these are all seniors, and this is an exciting time in the AVID class because college acceptances are coming in. So they will tell you more about their experiences in AVID and where they have applied to school and the colleges that they have been admitted to so far. Okay?
My name is Tim Arsenault. I am a senior in AVID. These are both seniors. And AVID was a thing that I fought for a long time throughout my academic career in high school. I didn't think it was something I needed until I started taking AP classes, and I realized that having that support group and being around students who have the same goals and the same objectives and the same motivation that you do is uplifting. And I started to understand that learning is more of a communal practice, and that's really what I feel like that's the focal point of AVID, from the experience that you get from being in AVID, and that's something that I plan to take with me with my college career. The colleges that I've been accepted to is University of Kansas, a CSU in Humboldt, a CSU in Los Angeles, and that is all. And I'm still waiting on acceptance or denial letters, of course, from UCs that I've applied to as well, and yeah.
Hello, I'm Navina U. Jagger, and being a first-generation college student, it's terrifying to know your parents haven't gone through the steps to getting to college, so it was hard to know how to jump through the hoops into getting into college. So AVID really helped with just the steps and the process of applying to college, and also getting me ready for college. Besides AVID's intent, as Tim said, AVID really provides a support group for students, and my AVID family is everything to me. Like, I would do anything for them, and just knowing that they love me and support me unconditionally and that I have made friends for life, it makes me happy to know I have people to share this experience with and to keep growing. So far, I've been accepted into UC Davis, and AVID has also helped me get into 5 AP classes this year, and I am also ranked number 10 in my senior class. Thank you.
My name is Rohan Singh, and like my other 3 colleagues, I'm a senior in AVID. And the biggest thing that AVID has helped me with, it's gotten to a point where I can't learn the way I used to. Because I used to be a more independent individual, in the sense that I would keep my learning to myself. I would try and learn things by myself. I would try and just stay in my own little bubble. But what AVID has really done, it's given me an outlet to be surrounded by like-minded people, which, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like it's a necessity for anyone to be successful, because people are always there to push you. People are always there to pick you up, and they're there in the same classes as you. So I think that's the most important part about AVID, not necessarily learning like how to apply for college, because it teaches you that too, but it teaches you how to be successful once you get in. And speaking of getting in, I've gotten into Chico State, University of California, San Diego, University of California, Davis, and Santa Clara. And I'm waiting on Claremont, USC, Stanford, Berkeley, and LA. And I'm 8th in my class, and I'm taking 4 AP classes. Yeah, that sounds right. 4. Thank you.
Thank you to Ms. Williams-Anderson and the students from Florin High School. That is amazing, wonderful. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Ms. Sarah Shelburne-Swan from Valley High School, AVID coordinator, and her students. Ms. Swan.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us tonight. I have been teaching at Valley High School for 30 years. In 1990, I was a young teacher and just ignorant enough to think that I could find a way to get more kids to college at Valley High School. So brought AVID to our high school. And 26 years later, we have over 400 students at Valley High School enrolled in AVID, and about 90 seniors this year. Next year, I'll have 140 seniors. So that's going to be a significantly larger number of seniors. I'm very proud of the program at Valley. 96% of our students are accepted and go to a four-year university. And as far as I've been able to track personally, about 82% of our students graduate, and about 72% of them pursue a master's or a doctorate degree of some sort. So it's been a very, very successful program, and we're very proud of it at Valley. I'd like to introduce, I brought 3 seniors with me, and one of them, 2 of them are in the top 10. One of them is the salutatorian of our class, and one of them is also the ASB president at Valley High School. So, would you like to go first? Okay. So, Mariah Thompson.
Hi, I'm Mariah Thompson, and I'm the ASB president at Valley High School. And I just want to talk about everything that's AVID has done for me. When I first started AVID, I was in my freshman year, and I was a shy, timid girl. And now AVID has helped me turn into the confident person that I am today. I don't know where I would be without AVID and without all the support that is provided and given to me. Through AVID, I have learned to be better at public speaking. I have learned to be better. It doesn't just teach you about, it's just not academic support. It helps you mold as a person, and helps you be a better individual through the program, because we're like family there. So you just trust everybody. And it's just an amazing thing to have. With AVID, now I've been accepted into 7 different universities. I've gotten into UC San Diego, UC Davis, Sac State, San Francisco State, San Diego State, San Jose State, Loyola Marymount, and I'm waiting on my dream school, Stanford University, and hopefully I'll be attending there. Yeah, AVID has just been a great thing for me. Oh, I want to introduce Bilal Baloch.
Hi, my name is Bilal Baloch. I'm a senior at Valley High School. I've been in AVID for 6 years now, so it's been a while in AVID. I've been in AVID for a really long time. When I think of AVID, I think of a safe haven, like a home from the dangerous reality that I encounter every day. I've never been pushed so hard academically ever until I joined AVID. I didn't know how successful I could be in all the treacherous classes that Mrs. Swan put me in. But still, I thank her for her tireless efforts in transforming the lives of thousands of students, including me. And I'm grateful for the AVID program on a global level for forever changing the lives of students. AVID has changed my life forever. I'm currently ranked 2 in my class. I hope to attend Brown University in the fall, and I plan to study understand and hopefully reform the American education system. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adam Allen. I'm a senior at Valley High School also. This is my 3rd year in AVID. When I think of AVID, it's changed my life completely. Freshman year, when I wasn't in AVID, I was a mediocre student. I didn't really try in classes because it's like I didn't seem to care. But coming into my sophomore year is when I was put into AVID, and it's helped me realize that I had the potential to go to college and be successful and do what I want to do in life and get out of life what I want. Thanks to Ms. Swan and other AVID teachers at Valley, it's helped me realize that my potential is out of this world. Like, I have the ability to do whatever I would like to do. The school, I've been accepted into 8 schools so far. St. Mary's, UC Merced, Humboldt State, Sacramento State, Sonoma State, Langston University, what's the other 2? University of Nevada, Reno, and I can't think of the last one. Sonoma, Sac State, Humboldt. Oh, and University of Pacific, yeah. I plan. I don't know what school I want to attend yet, but I plan to major in history with an emphasis on American and become a high school history teacher. Thank you.
May we have a collaborative round of applause for all of these students and our teachers? So as you can see, and as you have heard, AVID is truly an investment in our future. And so what's next? The future of AVID and Elk Grove Unified School District is bright. I can pretty much bet you that I will be asking you again next year for some additional FTE as part of our strategic expansion of this program. We want to explore, and I know that Ms. Cherry has already begun looking at the potential implementation of AVID at the elementary school level, so that we would have an articulated program from elementary through high school. And of course, we will continue to analyze the results of AVID to substantiate its continued impact on our students, on our district, and on our community. So I thank you very much. We would be pleased, the collective we, would be happy to answer any questions that you have.
All right, thank you. Questions or comments from colleagues? Ms. Chaitis Espinosa.
No questions. That was a very informative presentation. Thank you very much. I don't know where to begin. My cheeks hurt from smiling from hearing so much good news. I'm so incredibly proud of the work that all the students have put in, the work that the parents have put in, and you are exactly what we're trying to create. I mean, some of you mentioned the life-changing possibilities of the right kind of experience. So thank you for letting us know that, at least as far as you're concerned, we're getting it right. It gives us some guidance to, to continue to work towards every student having exactly that experience. So I'm so excited about your collective futures, and, drop us a line when you're in college to let us know how you're doing. Congratulations.
I also have to echo the similar comments and the fact that hearing the student testimonies and the experience in the program, again, is really heartfelt. Again, seeing how it's made a difference in your lives. And I have to commend the work of the staff, the teachers, and district staff, as well as the students and the families that support you every day on your journey. Again, when you get to college, I have to share with you, it's an experience. Stepping your first foot on a campus, it can be a scary thing. But I want you to remember you have support there for you. And again, we'd like to follow up and see where you are. you're setting that example, and you're going to be a future role model. And so the work that you do is really going to make a difference. So again, I have to commend the program. It's a great program, and the ability for students to take AP courses. I have to tell you, working at a community college, and when we see those courses and the scores on those classes, we're able to apply them towards some of your college education as far as your general education requirements. And so again, it's very important, and you're making that first step. And so again, I congratulate all of you who've gotten accepted into colleges, and looking forward to hearing from you in the future.
Beth?
I'm an emotional person, so I feel like I'm your mom, and I could cry for you all. So I'm so proud, and I'm so proud of our district for doing this, and the teachers. Good luck.
Okay, Tina, you know, I've been involved with AVID since my work days, and we've had discussions on that in the past. And we know, certainly, that those involved with AVID at the middle school and high school level have to overcome the cultural challenges that result in students participating. But those challenges are the same challenges that our elementary people face, and you've spoken to that. When might we look forward to beginning to have or hear some of those preliminary discussions? Because certainly the elementary perspective will be very, very different from the middle school, high school perspective.
And my colleague is coming forward to
Yes.
provide that information.
Thank you so very much for the question. Good evening, everyone. As a matter of fact, we sent a team of teachers and principals and one of our directors to Napa about 2 weeks ago to attend a conference on elementary AVID. Many of them came back very excited about the prospect. One of our principals, Louise Roachford Gould, as a matter of fact, when she was a principal in another district, actually had AVID on her campus for several years. So right now we're exploring the possibilities, looking at all of the different programs that we have, but I should expect that you'll hear something very soon about the possibility of elementary AVID.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, my turn. Wow. That's, you know, when I first started as a school board member, I went to an AVID Achievement Awards night at, I believe it was Franklin High School at the time. And my eldest was still in middle school, so it was about 3 years ago. And I saw and heard the testimonies from the students of this AVID family and how it pushed them to excel and reach beyond what they think that they can achieve. And the teachers really, you know, bonded with all of the students. Just seeing all of the joy, the passion, the camaraderie, I was sold. I mean, I'd always read about it, but I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. It's different when you go and see and hear for yourself. So from that day forward, I became a huge supporter for AVID. I was so excited. I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that somehow my son gets into this when he gets in high school. You know, even though mom is a law school graduate, you know, my son struggles. He's not, he's incredibly smart, but he needs that extra push. He needs somebody other than mom and dad saying, you're so amazing and you can do it. But hearing it from his peers and his teachers to push himself and to take that honors class, which he did really well in, so he started to have confidence in himself and started to work harder. And really, you know, all of the strategies that you learn, it is not an easy class. Oh my goodness. And learning Cornell notes, you know, those elusive Cornell notes, I know all about those. But my God, what an excellent preparation for college and career. And so I'm just so incredibly proud as a mom because I've seen it. I know what it's done for my child. And so I will be one of your loudest, staunchest champions because I know the benefit that it has for all students. So I'm so incredibly proud of all of you. Congratulations, you have such an amazing future ahead. And I look forward to you walking across the aisle there at Sleep Train Arena and getting that diploma, which is right around the corner. So thank you all, thank you staff, and thank you most of all our AVID coordinators for making this possible for our students. And everybody else, you know, I mean, my colleagues obviously, you know, with providing budgetary allocations, but really it's to make sure, the coordinators are ensuring the success back in the classroom. So I want to thank all of you and students. I can't wait to hear all the great things that you will be doing in the next coming years. So continued success on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, please.
Two parents came with their students, at least from Valley High School. I'd just like to acknowledge them because I taught one of the mothers.
Oh.
So I'd like you to stand up, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, next up we have our public hearing action item. Mr. Riley, we have consideration and public notice of ATU's initial proposal to the district regarding collective bargaining for the 2016-17 school year.
Good evening, President Singh-Allen, members of the board, Superintendent Hoffman, Ms. Avalos. My presentation will not be eliciting any tears, I promise you. So I'm here once again pursuant to Government Code Section 3547, following stipulated for negotiations between a bargaining unit and the district. The union's initial proposal is officially presented at a public meeting of the governing board for public notice, and a public hearing is conducted to receive public input regarding the union's initial proposal. The Amalgamated Transit Union's initial proposal is attached in your agenda packet. It is recommended that after the closure of the public meeting, the board take action to accept ATU's initial proposal.
All right, thank you, Mr. Riley. I would like to call for a public hearing to receive comments on ATU's initial proposal to the district regarding collective bargaining. All right, I would like to close the public hearing and call for a motion to accept ATU's initial proposal to the district regarding collective bargaining for the 2016-2017 school year.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve.
I second.
And a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, Mr. Riley, again, consideration and public notice of Elk Grove Unified School District's EGUSD initial proposal to AFSCME regarding collective bargaining for the 2016-2017 school year.
Yes, similarly to the previous item pursuant to Government Code Section 357, the Elk Grove Unified School District Governing Board is asked to review the Elk Grove Unified School District's initial proposal to AFSCME for the 16-17 collective bargaining. It's recommended that after the closure of the public hearing, the board take action to approve the district's initial proposal to AFSCME.
All right. I would like to call for a public hearing to receive comments on Elk Grove Unified School District's initial proposal to AFSCME. All right, I will close the public hearing and call for a motion to approve Elk Grove Unified School District's initial proposal to AFSCME regarding collective bargaining for the 2016-2017 school year.
So moved.
Motion to approve, Ms. Titus Espinosa.
Second.
Second, Ms. Martinez-Alaire. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you, sir. Ms. Lowry for Local Education Agency Plan.
Good evening once again, everyone. Tonight, the board is asked, or really requested, to receive and discuss information, as well as provide direction and input regarding the recent revisions made to our local education agency plan. We call that the LEA plan. We are required to rewrite the LEA plan about every 5 years, but since the inception of the LCAP and local control funding formula, the state and the feds have sort of been on hold with rewriting the plans. There's a lot of talk recently down south at the California Title I conference last week. There was a lot of confirmation that the LEA plan and the LCAP plan are going to be combined into one plan, which is going to be amazing and awesome. But in the meantime, our plan had to undergo some revision due to the length of time since the original plan, but also in preparation for our FPM review in 2016-17. So we're still on the docket for that, and so we had to do a revision. Essentially, the purpose of the plan, it's really a blueprint for students to achieve the standards, and for us to look at, guiding all of the funding that comes into our district, how we utilize that funding, to raise the academic performance for all of our students. And so tonight we're asking that you receive and discuss the information.
All right, questions or comments from colleagues? All right, we have received it.
So much.
Thank you.
I'll be back.
All right, sounds good. Let's see, next up we have action items. Mr. Pierce for EGUSD Community Facilities District Number 1, Special Tax Bonds, Outstanding Bond Refunding Opportunity, and New Money Borrowing.
Thank you, President Singh Allen, members of the board, Superintendent Hoffman, and Ms. Avalos. So we do have a detailed presentation that we're happy to provide the board tonight. However, you will recall Ms. Ranieri and myself, and Ms. Ranieri is here tonight, gave an extensive report at the February 16th governing board meeting where we walked the board through the refunding opportunity for our 2003, 2005, and a portion of our 2008 outstanding bond series. It will net the board and the school district a present value savings of just over 11%, which equates to just over $10.5 million in terms of present value. For the life of the bonds, it will generate a savings of just over $21.5 million and an annual savings of $850,000. It's a unique endeavor. It's one that we do not take lightly. We saw it on the horizon because of the call dates with the bonds, but also the historically low municipal bond market that we're realizing today. It's unique also in the fact that we're utilizing certificates of participation to refund those bonds as opposed to using community facility district bonds. That is also generating a level of savings because COPs are currently at a lower interest rate than CFD bonds, which is actually typical. So unique financing, a wonderful opportunity for the board to save the taxpayer dollars. And just as importantly, it's going to give you the opportunity to issue $30 million of additional funding to contribute to Laguna Ridge number 1 as well as Anatolia number 2 elementary schools that we're hoping to bid and award this spring. So again, we have plenty of information to provide to you. We provided a board communication in your Friday packet that outlined all of the documents that are attached to the resolution tonight. They're all in form as we near the actual sale, which is on April 6th. Members of the board and members of the district are welcome to attend that sale. It's an interesting process. Ms. Ranieri has extended that invitation, so if you'd like to, feel free to reach out to me. It's on a Wednesday morning. We won't know the official time for a while, but again, happy to answer any questions that you might have, but I would respectfully request your approval.
All right, any questions for Mr. Pierce? We good? All right. Well, I would like to call for a motion to adopt resolution number 48, authorizing the delivery and sale of certificates of participation to finance capital facilities of the district and approve related documents, and also authorize staff to finalize the resolution and related documents based on the terms and conditions of the sale of certificates of participation.
So moved.
That was one breath. We have a motion to approve from Ms. Chaitis Espinosa and a second from Mr. Fortino. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Hamilton, charter petition from California Montessori Project.
That presentation was just a ruse because we wanted to see Ms. Ranieri and her assistant.
Yeah.
Oh. Mr. Nate, you're not doing my testers? I got spoiled last time. Right, board members, President Singh Allen, Ms. Avalos. I'm here tonight to bring you the summary of our staff consideration of the renewal petition for the California Montessori Project's Elk Grove branch of its charter school system. Okay. Well. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So as you know from a prior presentation to the board as well as written communications in your Friday packet, the charter school in Elk Grove was originally chartered by Wheatland School District. That authorization shifted to the Elk Grove Unified School District in 2006. We renewed the petition in 2011. The campus, actually there's two campuses in Elk Grove, one on Elk Grove Florin Road and the other on Bradshaw Road, that currently serve 457 students in grades K through 8. As I have explained to you in the past, there are several measures when considering a renewal petition, somewhat different from an initial petition. The primary criteria that we look at first is whether the charter school is meeting at least at least one of the 4 measures of student performance that are listed on this slide, demonstrating growth in API or in another measure that we would negotiate collaboratively. CMP Elk Grove fulfills this requirement by complying with the 2 measures of attaining its API growth in 2 of the most recent 3 years that API was authorized by the state. In addition, we look at several criteria. First and foremost is the academic program of success, and by far that is the most important lens that we consider. We also ask if the school organization is effective, if the management is effective. We want to make sure that the school is being operated prudently and meeting all regulatory requirements, that it is faithful to the terms of the charter and the memorandum of understanding. And we also look at whether the renewal petition for the future 5 years addresses the state's required 16 elements for charter schools: supplemental information, affirmation, and assurances. And so our review determined that CMP Elk Grove meets the first 4 criteria. We have identified one area with regards to performance against the 16 elements where we would like to see improvement in their performance. So we have requested that corrective action be developed to ensure that the enrollment at CMP Elk Grove becomes more reflective of the racial and ethnic balance of the Elk Grove Unified School District community. Currently, we see some disproportionality when looking at the enrollment of white, African American, Asian, English learner, and economically disadvantaged students. We also see that the recruitment strategies are generic and not targeted at particular populations, and that enrollment preferences may impede opportunities to recruit a population that's more reflective of our community. CMP was very responsive when we first brought this concern to their attention. They've already started to identify some strategies that they can use for targeted recruitment, including developing marketing and promotional materials in a number of languages that are amongst the highest population languages other than English in our district. As well as outreach via several different venues. We are currently working, I shouldn't say we because I'm not doing it, but our Christine Hikito in our Department of Research and Evaluation and her staff are crunching some numbers so that we can identify a goal for what we would expect an ethnically and racially balanced enrollment to look like. This will be based on the community's demographic data. So it's not necessarily the data of the students within our district, but as it is stated in Ed Code, it is the community demographics of our adults and students within our territory. So in the next couple of weeks, we will work with the CMP Elk Grove staff to negotiate some annual growth targets that are based on this overarching goal. And then as we do annual reviews, we will be documenting performance against that goal. So I am here tonight to ask you to act on our recommendation based on the findings of fact that the board take action to approve the CMP Elk Grove renewal petition. Should you act to approve, I'm also here to ask that you be prepared to approve an MOU defining the operational agreements between our school district and CMP at the April 5th meeting. We're still in the process of working out the details of that agreement with CMP Elk Grove. So that's it.
It's a natural end right there. Great. Any questions or comments from colleagues? Ms. Titus Espinosa?
Thank you for that presentation, and thank you to you and your staff for such a thorough review and finding those areas in need of improvement. I just, I can't let this opportunity go without also thanking CMP Elk Grove for doing exactly what a charter school is supposed to do, for bringing to our district and our families something unique, something different, in this case a Montessori education, which typically a family would have to go into the private sector and pay a lot of money for. So I'm so happy to have them here and to have that educational experience available to our students and to our families. And I'm especially grateful for the way that they conduct they manage our relationships, that they are so responsible and so responsive, and it just makes me eager to continue that relationship going into the future, so thank you very much.
Ms. Martinez-O'Leary?
I would just like to echo the same comments. Thank you again for being readily available at the CMP campus, and again, looking forward to future work and partnerships, in the future that we can conduct with the campus as well.
Mr. Forcina?
Kathy, I'd like to call upon your wisdom to answer a question. The staff had raised issues about disproportionality, and the charter school has been very responsive in addressing those. My question is, how realistic is it to see changes? They're not going to go and pick children up at their houses and drive them to school. It's not going to happen. And all of the marketing in the world may not necessarily change the numbers. So at the end of the day, what do we look at? The fact that they attempted to have changes versus being successful in having changes? Is that what the focus would be?
We all recognize that the mathematical likelihood of significant change is probably slim. As their executive director, Gary Bowman, and I've already talked about, when you're only bringing in a set number of new students a year, generally speaking a kindergarten class, mathematically the numbers are against you. Nonetheless, as you know, we take access to and equity very important in our district, so we believe it would be wrong-headed not to call this out. In my conversations with Ms. Hakito, we believe that we need to figure out exactly what it is that we're measuring against, because I believe that through our process, the information initially provided by CMP and we looked at comparisons to selected schools, and that was kind of an apples and oranges thing. So, that's one of the first steps we're taking on our end, is what is it we're really trying to measure and encourage CMP to move toward. At the same time, we are respectful of the fact that CMP exists specifically because it has a certain pedagogy. And that pedagogy drives its enrollment preferences. And so it would be wrong-headed of us to ask them to change their enrollment preferences when their enrollment preferences are directed toward Montessori, the success of a Montessori-themed school. So I duly recognize that this is going to be a challenge. I felt like, and I think I have the support of, our team, our administrative team, that we can't not try, that we need to engage in this conversation with CMP. I do not believe that they are I don't believe that they don't want to have this conversation with us. And until we actually set some performance targets in place and then give them the chance to recruit a different population, I don't think we'll really know how unrealistic this is.
I thank you for that response. I guess, from my personal perspective, if I'm here at a point in time that it comes back for renewal, I guess I'd look at it as a no harm, no foul. I mean, you can only do your best, and then you get what you get.
And I think that just knowing Mr. Bowman and his team and knowing us, that's what we're asking, is that we all do our best. We see this as an area of growth. Let's see if we can attack it and make a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know it's a lot of work to go through these for both parties, and I appreciate how well we work together. And I think that's just an incredibly positive thing in our district. Thank you.
Well, I think I'd made most of my comments last time, but I do appreciate the corrective action plan, and it really shows significant responsiveness on the part of CMP to come up with a plan. And again, I do share some of the concerns that Mr. Fortino raised, but the best we can do is try. And to not do anything, I think that's where the problem is. But if we are, working together and trying to expand the diversity, that's, then at least we're showing our due diligence of trying to do the best. So I do appreciate the corrective action plan and just the level of responsiveness. And again, recognizing the partnership, and moreover, just the fact that this is an excellent example of what a good charter looks like, particularly as it relates to academic program success and organizational makeup and how it's managed. Those are really important areas, and I commend you for that, CMP.
If I could say just one more thing with regards to the racial and ethnic balance. We do set a high bar in our district. We do have high expectations, and we want to be consistent in that expectation. That any other charter that would come forward, we would ask this of them.
Right.
So, again, I feel like we do need to make the effort collaboratively to see if we can have an impact on that goal.
Great. Well, thank you for all of your time and hard work on this. So with that, I will call for a motion to approve the California Montessori Project's Charter School Renewal Petition for its Elk Grove School.
Yeah, I move approval of the Montessori Project Charter School Renewal Petition for Elk Grove Schools.
And we have a motion to approve from Mr. Fortino.
I'll second.
And a second from Ms. Titus Espinosa. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have our board member and superintendent reports. I'll start from my left.
Oh, man. I always go blank. I know I've been busy, but I can't remember.
Want me to go to the right first?
So,
I can start with Beth.
Official committee meetings, I think I reported on Elk Grove Unified, our 2x2 last time. So we have not had any official meetings. Just want to commend the chair and Ms. Albiani for representing Elk Grove Unified today at the state capitol, talking with our legislators about important issues that are coming before them that'll affect our ability to do our job and serve kids. So thanks very much for doing that.
Mr. Fortino, any report?
Yeah, I have only one official assignment report, and that was with respect to Elk Grove High School FFA and FFA activities. Tomorrow, I'll represent the board in judging school projects at Florin High School during the morning, and on Friday at Pleasant Grove and Elk Grove High Schools at students' homes. And I asked a question today. being, should I dress appropriately, which to me meant boots, and the answer was yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Albiani?
I had the opportunity to attend the CSBA event today. It's very impressive, and the farther I get and the more places I go as a representative of this district, the more apparent it is of what an excellent job we do. We really are something to be proud of. I can just hear other people talking and think, oh, so we should all feel good. We're doing a good job for the kids. So thank you.
Great. So I also attended the CSBA Legislative Day, and it was great to be there with 200 colleagues from throughout the state. And we touched on, there were 4 legislative items that we focused on. Of course, the school district reserve cap. Then we also discussed the 2016-17 state budget as it relates to early education funding discussion. We also discussed the charter schools authorization and oversight, Senate Bill 1434. And then we also discussed professional development, Senate Bill 871. I did bring packets here for my colleagues that were unable to join us at the Capitol. So I will share those with Mr. Forcina and Ms. Martinez-Aleri, and I'll pass one down to Superintendent Hoffman just so that we have the benefit of having the exact same information. It was a great advocacy day for our district, and I think that's the only official work as it relates to anything committee or I've got 2 more meetings coming up this week, CSBA with our conference planning, and then we have a delegate assembly in about less than 2 weeks, so busy. Mr. Hoffman?
Yep, so 2 comments real quick. One is just want to let the board know that I'll be meeting with a couple other superintendents with Assemblyman McCarty tomorrow. Actually on Thursday. Today's still Tuesday, right? Yeah, so on Thursday. Part of what we're going to talk about is the pre-K TK issue that's in the governor's budget and give the perspective from Elk Grove, and I believe there's a topic or 2 that he has that he would like to share as well. So we'll share and we'll be ears at the same time. And I did want to highlight last week there was a regional meeting of the FFA for basically all of Northern California, and they recognized hometown heroes. And one of our board members was recognized as a hometown hero, although he wasn't in hometown at the time, he was traveling. And that's Mr. Carmen Forcina. So I don't even know if you're absolutely aware of that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Wait, what?
yeah, you're a hometown hero, according to our FFA. So we have a little award for you, but you weren't home. You were in Oklahoma. You were in your other home. So we'll make sure we get that information to you. So.
That was great. All right, we are on to consent agenda items. Mr. Forcina.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 21.
All right, we have a motion to approve items 1 through 21 of the consent agenda. We have a second? Second, Ms. Albiani. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, so there was nothing pulled, so floor is open for other items. Mr. Forcina.
Yes, thank you. We had 2 wonderful reports tonight, and I'd like to formally request 3 additional reports. 2 of them, several of us have already spoken to you about, Chris, and I know they're already on your radar to address, but I'd like to make it the request formal. So the three items I'd like to see reports on is 1, SARB, and where we are since the introduction of the new process. Second would be on school security and safety. And then the third would be PBL, project-based learning, from the perspective of what it is, what it isn't, and what we as a district are currently doing to focus our efforts on PBL and perhaps have discussions with respect to what we might do in the future. So those would be the 3 requests.
So those are definitely areas of interest that I have, and I've expressed at least 2 of those.
Yep, so making sure they get consensus from the board versus individual member on the topics.
Are those areas of interest to get an update? Sure. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good.
I just have an
Well, with that, yes,
Just had a minor announcement. Just wanted to make sure everybody's aware. March 14th through the 19th this week is Indigenous Peoples Day at Sierra College, and they're having a number of workshops, and they're ending with the big time, which is California Celebration on Saturday. So I just wanted to make sure everybody's aware. The colleges are having numerous Native American days coming up. Sac State just had theirs last week, and upcoming in April will be UC Davis's Native American days as well.
thank you for sharing that. And with that, hearing nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Have a good evening, everyone.
Yeah, we don't usually have so many tears.